Alright, what's good? It's your boy Darrell. And today we're going to talk about internal dialogue and why it's important to talk to yourself a certain way and not be your own worst enemy for the most part. You don't want to talk to yourself in a negative way or put yourself in a negative mind state because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your performance and everything that you do. You want to talk to yourself in a constructive way to build yourself up. Why would you want to tear yourself down? That don't make sense. Why would you want to talk to yourself in a manner that makes you worse instead of talking to yourself in a manner that makes you better? So you always want to understand that the words that you say to yourself affect you going forward in real life. If I say to myself that I'm a bad person and all that, or bad things, I'm going to be a bad person. I'm going to act that. I'm going to speak as I create. Abracadabra. I'm going to create what I'm saying. I'm going to act that way. If I constructively build myself, then I'm going to function that way. And I would assume a lot of y'all want to be better in life and get somewhere and not tear yourself down. That don't make sense. What's the point of tearing yourself down? That's like it's like building a building and then knocking it over. Like, what the fuck? What was the point of that? You didn't even get the money out of it. You didn't even rent it out. You know what I'm saying? You could have kept building the building and getting your money off of it. But it's also got to go with resilience and being aware. Because I always say you got to be aware. So you got to be aware of what you're saying to yourself and understand how it's affecting you. Because you say it, but you don't understand that it's affecting you a certain way. Say, for instance, you did something wrong. Let's say sports. So you hooping, you do something real stupid. You throw the ball to bounce or something, and you go, I'm dumb, da 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 da. Now you're gonna play worse because you called yourself dumb. You're gonna play worse. It's a fact. You're gonna play worse because you called yourself that way. You start tilting, and now your mental is gone. Once your mind is out the game, once your head isn't in the game, EA Sports, get your head in the game. I don't think I should say it, but get your head in the game. So once your head's out the game, you can't focus. There's no concentration. You're not locked in. You unlocked yourself. You're now scrambled. You're now the worst player on the court because you talk to yourself a certain way. Any other aspect. If you're in school and you say you're a bad test taker, then you are a bad test taker because you believe it. And you're building that mold for you to step in and walk in and be that way. So I always say I'm a great test taker because I am. Because I know that I'm just naturally a test taker. You gotta speak yourself up and not tear yourself down. Even if it's not fucking true. Low key, if it's not true, still do it. Because you might as well get the benefit instead of the consequences of being negative. You might as well get the benefits of being positive. Even if you're this much better, you're still that much better. You know what I'm saying? Because like I want to be from here to here overnight, but it don't work like that. And I had that issue too. I ain't gonna say like everything that I do, I don't want to be good instantly because I'm like that too. But I'll be working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be working on it. I'm not gonna talk to y'all about some shit that I'm not working on, or I'm not doing or anything. But I've been fixing that about myself because everything you do in life, sometimes you're gonna be a natural, right? It's possible. You can be a natural. You can be born to do something. You could be, you know what I'm saying? It could just be for you. But a lot of other shit, you gotta really put in the work. And even if something is for you, you still gotta put in the work. All the hoopers, they put in the work. They naturally might have been hoopers, but they still had to put in the work. Football players, they might have been naturally football players, but they still had to put in the work. Any type of field that you want to think of, it's always like that. You got to put in the work. And you don't get there unless you build yourself up and have your own mental resilience, your own mental fortitude. Because other people are going to tear you down. If you already tear yourself down, you're more susceptible of someone else tearing you down. If you already talk bad about yourself, when I come and talk bad about you, you're going to believe me. You're going to believe me. Yes, you're going to eat it up. You're going to say, he's probably right. You're not going to say, that dude, you're not going to say, that dude's tripping. What's wrong with him? Because you say this shit to me, I'm going to laugh at you. Like, you can say whatever you want to me. I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to laugh. It's funny to me because I know. I can feel what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I can feel you trying to tear me down, but it don't work because I don't tear myself down. You know what I'm saying? Everything in life is a reflection of how you treat yourself internally. The words that you speak to yourself shape the way you think, and that is internally. Internally, the thoughts turns into emotions and turns into actions, right? So if I say this and that to you, bad things, you're going to think away. You're going to think, right? You're going to think those words are going to make you feel a certain way, and your actions are going to show through the thoughts and the emotions that you felt. So, and the opposite is true. If you think a certain way or talk to yourself positively, you're going to have positive. All right, before the camera magically turned out, if you think a certain way, you're gonna have those emotions, right, of what you're thinking, and you're gonna have positive actions because you're thinking positively. So always want to build yourself up and be constructive. And I'm kind of mad my camera cut out because I lost my train of thought completely. So I don't know where I was going, but I'm gonna keep going because fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't editing it. I'm gonna go edit the break in between. But yeah, so moral of the story: talk to yourself in a certain way. Talk to yourself. Be strategic with how you talk to yourself. Don't bring yourself down. When you got 500 other people in the world trying to bring you down, why would you bring yourself down too? If there's anybody in the world that should build you up, it's you. You don't need nobody else to build you up. You're supposed to build yourself up. But having people around you that build you up too always feels better. But you can't always depend on that. You can't always rely on that. You're not always going to have that. So always build yourself up. And the first step is to talk to yourself strategically in a constructive manner, constructive way. You don't want to tear yourself down, because if you tear yourself down, everyone else can too. You know what I'm saying? If you tear yourself down, you're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your armor on. You don't have your helmet on. You going to war with no armor. You running around that bitch effortlessly, fluid. No armor, they shoot you, you go. You know what I'm saying? That's how you moving. If you talk to yourself destructively, you have no armor on the battlefield, basically. If you talk to yourself constructively, you got impenetrable armor. Can't nobody, if they shoot you, anything gonna happen. You're gonna laugh at them like, you tried it. Tell you shit. So, talk to yourself constructively, because the way you talk to yourself shapes everything in your life. Right? So, if you want to get far in life, talk to yourself constructively. Don't bring yourself down. You have the whole world that tries to bring you down. Why would you bring yourself down? Don't bring yourself down. Build yourself up. Be better. Do more. Be comfortable in your skin. And I think earlier I was going to talk about thoughts. Before my shit cut out, I was going to talk about the thoughts. So, the thoughts in your head, right? In your thoughts, you don't always have your thoughts. There's more thoughts than just yours. I have instances when I have intercepted other people's thoughts. So you want to be aware of those thoughts and also try to filter out those thoughts, because they affect the way you internally speak to yourself, I guess is the best way to word it. Because speaking to yourself, it does not have to be external. It could be internal, right? It could be in your brain. Because I'm really speaking about external speaking to yourself, but it's still to yourself. So I'm really talking about like speaking in your mind. So that will be the more internal part. It's about internal dialogue. So now we're getting into the internal dialogue. The thoughts, right? You want to have good thoughts. You want to be able to filter your thoughts. You want to be able to know when thoughts are yours and when they're not yours. Because you can have thoughts that's not yours. I have had an instance where I was in school and there was this lady, she's about 70. If I had to guess, she's about 70. And I caught somebody's thought because before she even, like, she opened the door, I was looking down my paper. In my head, I heard old hag. And then I looked up and I seen her. And I was like, that wasn't my fucking thought. Who thought that I intercept in this classroom? That wasn't my thought. But I knew it wasn't my thought because I haven't even looked at the door yet. And I don't even talk like that or think like that towards people. Like, I never even looked at her like that, like, oh, old person, da-da-da. Shit, I respect her because she getting her education, you know what I'm saying? She on what I'm on. She trying to get her life right, you know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't my thought. So you can't have other people's thoughts. And that's happened to me more than once. But that's the most recent occasion. While I was at school and I caught somebody's thought of somebody calling the lady a old hag. But there's like 40 other people in the class, so I don't know who the fuck did it, you know? I would never know because it's all internal, right? But understand that you may have other people's thoughts. And growing up, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, they have embedded thoughts into your subconscious, in your brain. So you have to sift through that bullshit that they put in your head and find your own thoughts. You have to find your own person. You have to be your own person. You have to find your own individuality. So, yeah, you gotta have the thoughts in your head. You want those to be constructive. Anything that's not constructive, you gotta get rid of that shit. Whether it's through affirmation, whether you write about it, whether you just reject it. Sometimes when I have like thoughts that I know aren't mine or they're bad or whatever, I just let that shit come through. I just listen. I just be like, yeah, alright, yeah, whatever. I literally just in my head, I be like, alright, bro, that's not mine. It's not mine. And I can tell that shit go away. That shit'll go away in like a couple of weeks. You're gonna have less and less intrusive thoughts. Because I used to have intrusive thoughts, but I don't have that shit no more. I don't have that shit. Once you are aware of like what's really going on and how to fix it and correct what's happening inside your brain and your internal subconscious programming within your mind, it'll fix yourself. Your whole reality will shift and you'll become just a better person overall. And you're gonna, something so small that you think is so small is actually so big, because the universe is mental. The universe is mental. So everything in here, everything in this realm starts with someone's mind. Everything you know started with someone's mind, of the way they think. And now I'm getting too far into it, but always protect your mind. We do a lot of things that don't protect our mind, which should be a separate video, so I'm gonna stop there. But have good thoughts if you can help it. And when you do have bad thoughts, monitor that and don't let that shit get to you. And don't let that shit get to you at all. And push that shit out and get rid of it. Meditation is a good one. I forgot when I was listening to stuff to help. Meditation is a good one, because meditation, you can be able to hear those thoughts and be like, all right, you're all right. You know what I'm saying? You can just focus and have a clear mind. So you want to get those thoughts out your head. You want to be able to speak to yourself internally. I always think to myself internally in a good way, no matter what. No matter if I mess up, no matter if I spill ketchup everywhere. Why is that the example? No matter if I spill ketchup everywhere right now, I'm going to say, fuck it, I'll clean it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, oh, I did this, I did that, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that. No. I spill ketchup, who cares? Like, I'm going to clean it up, you know what I'm saying? And no matter what the example is, same way, no matter what it is, I'm going to speak to myself constructively, because that's how I'm going to get farther in life. So, you do the same. If you want it that bad, if you want it, if you don't want it, as I always say, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. You know what I'm saying? I can give you the tools. I can tell you what to do. But if you don't want it, hey, I can't jump through the camera, and I'm not going to try, because that motherfucker expensive. But, yeah. So, internal dialogue. What else? What else about internal dialogue? The way you think shapes everything. The way you think shapes everything in the world. You know what I'm saying? What I think is true and what you think is true is based upon what we think. And this is about internal dialogue, though. So, speak to yourself constructively. Build yourself up. Don't let the thoughts get to you. Even if they're not yours, don't let them get to you. Especially when you're around negative influences. You live with other people that you don't really want to be around, or they're not positive. They're going to affect you. It's going to affect your energy. It's going to bring you down. It's going to affect your brain, affect your mind. You're not going to get as far as you would like being around those type of people. So, internally, with the thoughts are going to turn into emotions. When you have bad thoughts, you're going to feel bad, correct? Then when you feel bad, you're going to do bad shit. When you think badly and you feel badly, you get depressed, and now you laying in the bed type shit. You know what I'm saying? You thought about the loved one that made you feel bad, and now you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just an example. It's a lot more shit than that, but, you know what I'm saying? Just talk to yourself nice. It's something simple. Just talk to yourself nice. No matter what happened. Talk to yourself nice. You know what I'm saying? That's step one. Talk to yourself nice. Type shit.